What's up YouTube, KidMoto22 here, and I'm going to talk to you guys today about a topic that is pretty personal to me when I ride and may or may not be to you, but I'm going to talk to you about whether or not heated gear is worth the price. So let's get to it right now. Welcome back, and as you saw in the intro, I'm going to talk to you guys about heated gear and whether or not you think that heated gear is worth the price. So there's a couple things really that you should consider about the heated gear if you're looking into it and you're going to purchase it. Number one, from a gear perspective, heated gear is a pretty big investment. So you have to decide is if heated gear is good for you, if you're going to know that you're going to use it more than just a couple times a season. If you're in an area that's warm, likely heated gear is probably not a good investment. And I've heard a number of times people say, I don't need heated gear, I just layer up. That's a personal choice and that's not a bad option. I personally don't like layering up. I think that once you start to get too many layers on, especially if you layer underneath, say like a leather jacket or chaps, you start to get that marshmallow feeling where it's pretty hard to move your arms, hard to move your legs. Your shoulders are kind of cramped. Those are kind of things that I don't like to feel when I'm riding. I like to be comfortable and I like to be able to move as freely as possible. Now, sometimes that's not really always the case if you're riding with rain gear on or, inclement conditions or whatever. That's why I think heated gear is a great option. So again, if you're riding in a warm weather environment, heated gear is probably not the right thing for you. Now for me, heated gear has become an essential part of my gear and really one of my favorite things that I've upgraded in the last couple of years. The reason why is that I like to say even our riding season is kind of divided into three separate sections. We have kind of our spring, summer, and fall seasons. Two of those seasons, both spring and fall, are typically surrounded by very cold mornings and warm afternoons. That's the same thing that we experience right now in the fall. Our mornings are oftentimes in the 30s and 40 degrees. Now, it might get up to 70 in the afternoon or, right now unseasonably warm. But to leave, even if you're going to commute to work, I would have to bundle up so much to ride when it's 43 degrees, say for instance in the morning, and then have all that stuff with me to bring with me not only in the afternoon, but when I leave work, if I'm commuting, then I don't need all of that gear. So heated gear has become a great option for me in terms of extending my riding season and to be able to ride when it's colder in the spring, so I can ride much earlier. Last year, I did an all-day ride in the first week in March, and it was about 37 degrees with a 20-mile-an-hour wind, and we rode all day long. That would not have been possible if not for my heated gear. I likely would have ridden on a day like that because you wait all winter long and it was sunny and whatever, but I wouldn't have ridden all day long because it would have just been too cold. But really the point I was trying to make is whether it's worth the money, okay? So heated gear is expensive. You could pay upwards of $200 or more for the gloves, the jacket, and the pants, and that would be for each part. Sometimes they're even more. So the first thing I would say is don't buy it when it's full price. I have found that most oftentimes these things go on sale, and most of the sales give you a pretty good discount, up to almost as much as $100 I've seen for each piece of gear. So don't buy it at full price, wait till it goes on sale, because it always does. Last year I think they went on sale right around that Black Friday time, and it was great to get them at a discounted rate. So I went with the fieldsheer with the mobile warming technology. The reason why is I found this to be kind of the best to suit my needs, and I got the dual control system. So my gear comes with batteries that can operate the jacket and the pants, and also I can hardwire it into my bike, and I can have heat all day long for my gloves, my jacket, and my pants all at the same time. This is really great. I'll show you, I'll put some pictures up over here and over here of my gloves, and so we'll talk about the gloves first. The gloves have heat that go throughout the fingers, okay, and up the hand a little bit. The cuffs go all the way to this part of my arm, and then they plug into the sleeve of the jacket. The jacket, I'll put a picture up where the heat sensors are there. Jacket have heat through the sleeves, across the chest, and across the back. And then the pants, and I'll put a picture up of the pants here. The pants have the heat on the thighs and in your butt area. So the thing that I like about the fieldsheer mobile warming heated gear is that there's 4 heat settings, okay? 4. The reason why this is important is that they're going to tell you in the description that you can get up to 8 hours of heat. It's either 6 or 8 hours of heat. That's on battery power at the lowest setting, okay? Important to know that because some people have complained that, you know, they plug it in, they turn it on high heat, and their stuff is dead in, you know, 2 hours. That's with the battery power. That's why I'm saying you should get the dual control heat so that you can have it plug into your bike and you can have the high heat setting all day long if you want. I have typically only ridden probably one time with the highest heat setting. Very often I will get on and I'll turn it up hot, you know, to the highest heat setting and then get pretty warm, and then I'll kind of, you know, tear it down to a comfortable setting. The other reason why I like heated gear is it's a very good windbreak and very warm even if you don't have the heat settings on. It's water resistant. I wouldn't consider it waterproof, but water resistant for sure. So it does shed the water pretty well. I don't believe it's waterproof just based on the feeling of it. I think you could probably Scotch guard it and make it, you know, pretty water resistant. I haven't done that to mine. But the other thing that I like about it is that, so all of it's connected together. I'm wired into my bike. I have all these heat settings. I can control that. But the great thing about it for me is that there's no bulk added. The jacket's fairly form-fitting. The pants aren't too big and bulky, and the gloves fit very well with a long cuff, with that type of, you know, longer glove style that goes over your gloves, so you're not having wind blow up the sleeve, right? So underneath there, even on the coldest temperatures that I've ridden in, I can wear a t-shirt and jeans, regular socks on my boots, and I have not been cold. So that's really, really important, because if you're going to ride all day long in cold weather, your body's using a ton of energy just to keep warm, and cold weather fatigue on a motorcycle is a real thing. So having that heated gear to keep you warm on your longer rides is really a plus. Now, like I said, this kind of gear is not cheap. It's pretty expensive. And so you have to decide if it's something that you're going to use. If you're not going to use it more than a couple times a season, it might not be worth it for you. I have found that I got it. I thought it was going to be kind of a pain, you know, getting wired up and connected to my bike. But really, once I started doing longer rides with the warmer gear, it really allowed me to be very comfortable when I was riding in much colder conditions, and has extended my riding season not only in the spring, but in the fall of the year. I will be riding up until pretty much the snow flies here. So I could be riding deep into November if we have a long fall. That really makes my riding season from March to November, and that's pretty good. If you think about it in terms of, you know, what riding seasons are in other areas, that only puts me off a few months. So, you know, for me, heated gear has been worth every penny spent on it. Now, again, you know, everybody likes to spend their money on their gear in different places, and this might not be the right thing for you, but for me, worth every penny. So that's about what I have to say about that. I guess I have one more thing I would like to add about the heated gear. The only drawback that I've found is that taking heated gear on a long trip, multi-day trip, can be cumbersome because it's difficult to pack, because it's bulky in terms of packing it. So that would be the only drawback I would see. Now, if you knew you were going on a long ride and it was going to be cold on the whole ride and you were going to be wearing it, you wouldn't have to worry about it being packed. So that's the only drawback I would say to the heated gear. That's all I have for you guys today. Heated gear for me, an absolute must, and it's been worth every penny. If you like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up. I'll put a video of mine that you might like over here or over here. And again, the subscribe button is gonna be in one of these two corners too. And that's all I have for you guys today. This is Kid Moto. I'm out.